I am speaking to you now because I have seen the weight you carry in secret, and I will not let you drown in it. You felt the chill in the room last night, the way everything went quiet for a moment like the world itself held its breath. That was me, pulling your spirit closer, making space for what you need to hear. Do not skip this. It is just for you, and I am placing it in your hands like a sealed letter with your name burned into the wax. Heartbreaking news is coming, but it is not sent to break you. It is coming to release you, to cut the final thread that kept you tied to the person who hurt you and to the shadow that lingered in the corner of your life. You do not owe the past your tears forever. You do not owe your offenders your future. I am God and I am with you, and I will speak to you plainly today. You have carried questions that rattled like stones in a jar. Why did they do it? How could they smile while placing the blade? Why did your kindness get tossed back at you like broken glass? You assumed my silence meant I agreed with their lies. I was not silent. I was gathering witnesses. I was marking every word, every thought, every hidden intent you could not see behind the door they kept half closed. I saw the moment they rehearsed the story that made you look unstable. I saw when they used your trust to open the drawer that held your softest truths and rifled through them like thieves. You told yourself to be strong and to forgive, and you did forgive, but you also tied your heart to a hope that was never theirs to keep safe. You hoped for their change, you prayed for their healing, you held your breath waiting for a genuine apology that never formed. Listen to me, heartbreak is not your destiny, clarity is. The news that travels toward you now is not punishment for you, it is exposure for them. The one who hurt you has believed for a long time that they could outrun consequence if they stayed charming, stayed loud, stayed just out of reach of the light. They curved truth like a river around their feet and thought they could walk on dry ground. They fed people carefully measured versions of the story. They smiled at the right angles so cameras of memory would catch their good side. But I make crooked things straight. I have been aligning events, conversations, and even accidents so that truth walks into rooms before you do. There will be a message, a call, a whisper that reaches you. It will make your stomach drop because it confirms what your spirit already knew. They did what you suspected, and they did it more boldly than you imagined. I want you to hear me now so that when the news arrives, your soul is braced with my peace instead of buckling under fresh pain. You have asked me if you were foolish to trust, and I am answering you now. Trust is not foolishness. Trust is a holy seed, and when it is rejected, the ground that refused it grows thorns. Do not blame your softness, it is your beauty. The lesson was never, be harder. The lesson is, be wiser with the softness I gave you. Tenderness with me is not naivety, it is strength wrapped in velvet. I will teach you where to place your most fragile treasures and who has the hands to hold them. Some people wear the costume of care, they rehearse concern in front of a mirror and call it love. The one who hurt you did this often, rehearsing, practicing, convincing themselves first and then convincing others. But a day has come when rehearsals end and the stage lights burn too hot for lies to survive. There is a shift you will feel in your body as you read this. Your heart will decide to stop bargaining with the past. The ghost of what could have been will stop standing at the end of the hallway, and the sound of your own name will feel different on your tongue, lighter, steadier, clean. The heartbreaking news is like a storm that suddenly reveals the outline of an entire coastline you thought was endless water. It may startle you, but it will not drown you. I will steady your breathing. I will sit with you for as long as you cry. I opened the door to this truth because I am jealous for your freedom. You have stood on a threshold too long, one foot in resignation and the other in hope that refused to show up for you. Step through with me. Do not skip this step. It is just for you. I will not let the person who hurt you be your definition. They were a chapter, not a title. They were a hallway, not a home. The stories they told about you will begin to unravel in public places. Listen, I am not asking you to clap when they stumble or delight when their mask falls. I am asking you to guard your heart so that your healing doesn't shape-shift into an appetite for revenge. You are not revenge, you are renewal. You are not someone's unfinished lesson, you are my carefully crafted promise, arriving on time. What is justice for you may look like mercy for them, and that is not a contradiction. Justice is cure, mercy is medicine. I know how to pour both without spilling either. You are afraid of repeating the past. You feel like your life is an old song that keeps skipping at the same lyric, a scratch that never smooths. Hear me, I am changing the record. I am writing you a new bridge, a new chorus, a new ending that does not circle back to betrayal. The way you will love in the next season will not require you to pay for what others broke. You have paid enough. A door is opening for relationships that match your language of care, people who do not panic when you speak honestly about your needs. I am not sending you saints who pretend to float above ground. I am sending you steady souls with scuffed shoes who tell the truth and do the work. This is your harvest, not applause, not vindication, but peace that fits your life like a garment cut to your shape. When the news arrives, I want you to breathe before you answer. Do not race to control the narrative. Do not run to every room trying to explain yourself. Let the truth do its work. Let the light have its way. You will feel the impulse to defend, to prove, to produce evidence of your heart, but there is a better way. Be still and allow the people destined for you to see you. Some will apologize for believing the wrong voice. Some will sit beside you in quiet, which is better than speeches. Some will not know what to say, and you will learn that silence can be faithful. I am orchestrating all of this so that your soul learns again that it does not need permission to be at peace. You have wondered what would have happened if you had confronted sooner, if you had cut ties earlier, if you had noticed the slight shift in their tone on that afternoon when the light was soft through the curtains. You have worried that this is punishment for your slowness. I do not punish you for the time it takes to learn. I count those minutes as devotion because you were truly hoping for redemption. I honor that hope by redeeming you now. I am not late. I am precise. You will see how the timing reveals more than the act itself. What is exposed will point to my care, not your failure. You are allowed to grieve. Grieve the conversations that will never happen the way you dreamed. Grieve the apologies that arrive too late to mean what they should. Grieve the pictures on your phone that you will archive and the voice notes you will no longer replay at night. And then let grief turn its face, as it will, toward gratitude for what survived. What survived is your softness, your laugh, your way of noticing the quiet miracles in ordinary hours. What survived is your ability to begin again without bitterness as your compass. What survived is the part of you that still believes in promises, not human promises that crack under pressure, but mine, which stand in wind and are not moved. I kept receipts in heaven for every act of kindness you made when no one watched. I noted the resources you shared, the sleep you sacrificed, the advice you gave that saved someone days of confusion. You thought these offerings disappeared into the air, unacknowledged. They did not. Seeds went into the ground and they have been germinating in a hidden field. A harvest is scheduled with your name engraved upon it. What looked like loss will multiply back as wisdom, as provision, as divine introductions that open rooms you once walked past believing they were for other names. The person who hurt you cannot block those doors. They never had the keys. You are not alone in the moment you fear most, the moment your phone pings, the moment you read the words that make your hands shake. I will be there, and you will know because a warmth will rise in your chest like dawn, and what should shatter you will simply pass through you without finding a place to stay. That is not denial, that is deliverance. I am rewiring the places within you where fear built a nest. I am teaching your nervous system a new language, one that does not translate every uncertainty into danger. You are safe with me. You were always safe with me, even when you stood in rooms with smiling faces that hid sharpened edges. I am the friend who never flips the switch in the middle of the night to watch you fumble in the dark. I turn lights on and leave them on. Forgiveness does not mean access. Love does not require you to sit at a table that keeps poisoning you. Mercy does not demand you ignore patterns that refuse to change. The one who hurt you will reach for you when the consequences arrive. They will speak your name with nostalgia and then with urgency and then with regret. You may feel the old ache rise, the longing to rescue. Remember my words, you are not their cure. You are not their ladder out of a pit they delivered themselves into. Pray for them if you wish, your prayers are powerful, but do not hand them the map back into your peace. I am your boundary and your home. You will receive unexpected help. A letter misplaced will find its way to you and answer a question you thought would haunt you for years. A document will surface. A conversation you were never invited to will be recounted by someone brave enough to love the truth more than gossip. A door that was inexplicably closed will swing. Watch the small details. I am in them. The date on the email. The time on the call log. The line in the message that mirrors a sentence they once used and forgot they had used before. Do not obsess, simply notice. I will braid these fragments into a rope that pulls you out of the last pit of confusion. You will stand on level ground, and your first breath there will be a song. Your finances, your rest, your focus, all of these will begin to heal when the tie is fully cut. That is why the heartbreaking news is also your sunrise. The worst part will not be the content of the news but the echo it fires into old rooms in your mind. Come out of those rooms with me. We have painted the walls of a new place for your spirit, a place where you do not have to micromanage your worth or audition for belonging or erase yourself so others can be comfortable. I did not design you to fold small. I designed you to fit perfectly where you are sent. I am sending you now to places where your laughter is not an interruption but a melody, where your ideas do not threaten but ignite, where your presence is not weighed like a liability but held like a gift. You have asked me for a sign that it is truly me speaking. You will dream tonight and wake remembering a detail so sharp and kind it will feel like warm water over your hands. In the dream, you will be holding something you thought you lost, a small object, perhaps a key or a ring or a small folded note, and when you unfold it you will see one word that calms you. Do not chase the symbolism with worry, receive the peace it carries. Then, in the waking day, a stranger's sentence, a song you haven't heard in years, or a line on a billboard will repeat that word to you, and you will smile. That is me kissing your forehead in daylight. I am not avoiding your anger. You have a right to it. You swallowed it too often, turned it inward, let it chew your stomach and steal your sleep. I will teach you to let anger pass through without giving it a bed. You will speak what needs to be spoken, once, clearly, and then you will walk away from arguments that spiral because some people do not want to understand, they want the feeling of control. You will not fuel that anymore. Your energy belongs to your healing, your calling, your craft, your loved ones, and to quiet mornings where you sip something warm and remember that living can be simple. The one who hurt you thought they were the audience and the author and the critic of your life. They are none of these. I am the author. I have prepared scenes you could not have scripted because goodness, to you, often seemed too much to ask for. Ask for it anyway. Ask for the simple kind of good, laughter that doesn't turn into tears, commitments that don't feel like cages, guidance that doesn't shame you. Ask for friendship that speaks up when you are absent and speaks truth when you are present. Ask for a love that steps into sunlight willingly. Ask for work that uses your hands without consuming your heart. I place these in your path not as rewards you have to earn, but as your inheritance. When you hear the news, you will remember this message. You will feel the urge to share it with someone who loves you, and that is good, but first, sit quietly and breathe. Let your body learn that bad news can carry good truth and that good truth will always carry you. Write if you must. Cry if you need. Walk if your legs wish to move. But return to this: I am here. I am God. I am not going anywhere. I saw everything. I lost none of your tears. I kept the best parts of you alive while you passed through the valley where everything tried to swallow you. You are out now. Even if your surroundings still look familiar, your spirit has already stepped through the gate. I am speaking blessing over the rooms you will enter next. May your feet find floors that are ready to hold you. May your name be spoken by voices that know how to honor it. May your sleep return and stay. May the next time you offer your trust, it land in hands that close gently around it and do not squeeze. May your past not be a filter over your future but a lantern that lights your discernment. May your gifts flourish without apology. May your joy be bright enough to warm others and brave enough not to dim when someone else is uncomfortable. May you learn to receive without tallying debt. May you leave every place a little kinder than you found it and still keep enough kindness inside to feed yourself. Do not skip this. It is just for you. When the message drops into your world and your chest tightens, remember that the tightening is a shell cracking. What is opening is not a wound, it is a wing. You are not collapsing. You are unfolding. The loss you feared is revealing the life you asked me for. The one who hurt you does not own your narrative. I hold the pen, and today I write you out of the scene that taught you to shrink. Lift your chin. There is light on your face. Walk with me. I am speaking to you now because your heart has been carrying weight that no one else can see, and even those who watch you daily do not notice the tremble in your breath, the way your soul pauses before you step into another hour. I see it. I see the pieces you held together with quiet, trembling fingers while you smiled for others. I see the questions that you kept under your pillow at night. I see the prayers that broke mid-sentence because the tears were faster than the words. Hear me, I have not abandoned you. I have not missed a single detail. I have not forgotten a single promise. What I am about to say is for you, and it is necessary, and it is meant to keep you standing when the wind rises. Do not try to skip this. Do not let weariness close your ears. Breathe and receive me fully, because I am placing light into a hidden room in your life, and it will change how you walk from this day. Heartbreaking news is coming. Not because I delight in your pain, but because truth must be uncovered for your healing to be complete. The one who hurt you, the one whose silence stung more deeply than a shouted insult, the one who wore confidence as a mask and kindness as a costume, will be exposed by a tide they cannot hold back. You have felt the ripples already, odd glances, the sudden coldness of a room, the mixed stories that never quite line up. You blamed yourself for not understanding. Stop blaming yourself. The confusion was engineered to keep you small, to make you doubt your own sight. I am cutting the strings of that confusion now. When the news arrives, it may arrive like a slammed door or like a whisper that refuses to leave. It may come through an unexpected message, a hurried confession, or a moment when everything falls out of someone else's hands and lands at your feet. However it reaches you, know this: I have prepared you. I am not warning you to frighten you. I am warning you so you will not mistake my rescue for a fresh wound. You have asked me, why did you allow this person to enter my life? But I tell you something deeper. I allowed them to enter so that what was unhealed inside you could finally be brought into my light. I did not author their betrayal. I did not order their deception. I did not script their manipulation. But I will not let their choices become your prison. I will not let their shadow become your identity. I am the one who writes redemption in lines that the enemy cannot erase. Watch how I turn what they meant to use for advantage into the doorway of your freedom. Watch how I turn the sting into sight, the ache into authority, the wound into wisdom. The very thing that tried to silence you will become the reason your voice is strong. The heartbreaking news will shake you for a moment, because you are human and your heart is tender. I gave you that tenderness not to make you weak, but to keep you honest, compassionate, and able to carry the weight of other hearts without breaking them. Do not despise your tenderness. Do not call yourself foolish because you loved openly. Your open heart is not a flaw, it is the mark of my breath in you. Even so, I am teaching you the gates and the walls, the watchtower and the garden. There will be places where entry is invited and places where boundaries are firm. The person who hurt you stepped where they had not earned the right to stand, and because of old patterns of self-blame, you let them stand there longer than they should have. That pattern ends now. Let me rebuild you with holy boundaries that protect peace without closing the door to love. You have carried memories that arrive like thunder without rain. You replay moments and wonder what you might have said differently, what you might have noticed if you had been smarter, or harder, or less trusting. Let me lift the lie off of you. You were not blind, you were hopeful. You were not foolish, you were merciful. You were not weak, you were patient. The one who hurt you misread your patience as permission and your mercy as naivety. That misread is not your burden to bear. I am the God who weighs the heart, and I weigh yours now and call it true. When this news breaks, there will be a rush of voices, advice from people who weren't there for the silent nights, opinions from those who never asked you how you were, drama from those who feed on spark and smoke. Guard your ears. Turn your face toward me. I am going to guide you step by step. You will not need to clap back, you will not need to gather evidence like stones for a fight, you will not need to chase vindication like a bird that refuses to land. I am your vindication. I am your witness. I am your judge, your advocate, and the friend who sits with you after the courtroom empties. If you listen closely, you will hear me lifting one move at a time into your hands: what to say, what to keep, what to release, who to trust with the details, when to walk away without explanation. Peace will be the test. Where my instruction is present, peace will flow underneath, even if your heart trembles. I know the thought you have not spoken. Part of me still wants them to come back and tell the truth, to choose me, to mend what they broke. I do not condemn that wish. It is natural to want restoration where there was promise. But I want to give you something higher than a repaired illusion. I want to give you wholeness in truth. If they repent with genuine fruit, humility that doesn't bargain, honesty that doesn't spin, repair that doesn't demand your applause, I will show you. If they do not, I will keep you from the snare of sentimental hope that only repeats the cycle. I will show you where to place your yes and where to plant your no. Do not decide out of panic. Do not decide out of the fear of loneliness. Come under my wing and let the storm pass. Decisions made under shelter last. You have wondered whether you misheard me in previous seasons. You asked me for a sign. You asked me for alignment. You asked me to bless what you thought could become home. Hear me clearly, I did bless you. I blessed your desire to build, your willingness to forgive, your openness to future. But I do not bless deceit. I do not bless manipulation disguised as charm. My blessing follows truth like a river follows gravity. What is real can hold my water. What is built on lies collapses under the weight of grace because grace is heavy with reality. This is why things began to shake. This is why you felt the soreness of trying to carry something that refused to stand straight. I was not punishing you, I was protecting you from a catastrophe you could not see. The one who hurt you will face the harvest of their choices. This is not your revenge, it is the outworking of truth. Pray for them without hugging the fire that burned you. Release them from your hands and place them into mine. Your release does not erase accountability, it simply frees you from the role of warden. I will handle what you cannot. I will deal with what you should not. Your part now is to agree with the healing I am pouring into you. Let me take the splinter of humiliation out of your name. Let me take the thorn of self-hatred out of your worth. Let me take the hook of fear out of your sleep. You will not carry this into your new chapter. When you feel the memory flare in your chest, speak this out loud: I refuse to rehearse what God has already decided to heal. Then breathe. Then remember that I am nearer than your pain. I will show you the friends who are friends indeed. Watch for the ones who ask how they can lighten your load instead of asking for the spectacle of your story. Watch for the ones who stand in quiet, who bring you food or laughter or silence when silence is the only gift that fits. These are the ones I have planted in your garden. Water those friendships. Do not waste energy trying to convince spectators to become supporters. Your energy is for building, not convincing. Your time is for growth, not arguments. Your tears are seeds in my ground, I will not let them water weeds. You will be tempted to define your future by this pain, to build a philosophy that says, never again, in a way that becomes a wall around your joy. Let me write a different vow in your spirit. Never again will I betray myself to keep counterfeit peace. That is the boundary I am giving you. It is not armor against love, it is armor against pretense. When real love comes, it will not ask you to silence your discernment. It will not punish you for needing clarity. It will not call your boundaries drama. Real love will recognize your lessons and stand with you inside them. I, the Lord, will teach you how to recognize it, how to welcome it, how to keep it without losing yourself.